Hey everybody, welcome to or back to my channel, My Kind of Stuff, and today is episode 2 of a series knockout. So, if you don't know what series knockout is, it is kind of what it sounds like. I am trying to prioritize continuing or finishing series that I am in the middle of because the list has gotten out of control. So let's talk about what I have started, finished, made progress in, or have gotten caught up in the last 2 months or so since the last episode. Um, I honestly didn't finish as many as I thought I did, or as many as I wanted. There were only 4 series that I finished or put down for good. Um, the first series is one that I DNF'd, and that is the Bleeding Hearts series. I read 2 of the 5 books. I really enjoyed book 1. Book 2 fell off hard, and now the rest of the books don't even follow any of the same characters that were in the first 2, so I don't really care to continue. I won't continue. But I read 2 of the 5 and that's it for that. I also finished Throne of Glass. This is another series that has been hanging over my head for years. Um, I didn't really like any of it. There were a few of the books that I thought were fine, but for the most part, I just simply don't care enough. And I actually ended up DNFing the very last book at about, I don't know, somewhere between like 30 to 50%. Kindle doesn't tell you percentage, or Kindle. Audible doesn't tell you percentages. I was listening to it on there, but somewhere in that ballpark. Then another series that I did finish was the Twisted series by Anna Huang. Um, Again, another roller coaster of a series for me. Started off really bad, got better, kind of went down again. Now, this last book I liked a little more. So it was a roller coaster of emotions in these 4 books, but I did finally finish them. Then we have the Ruinous Love trilogy. Absolutely loved Butcher and Blackbird. Leather and Lark, I did not like at all. And then Scythe and Sparrow, the last book, I just finished it a couple weeks ago and really, really enjoyed it. So another roller coaster of a series, but hey, it's another one off the list. I was pretty proud of myself for getting caught up in quite a few series, though. So, yes, they're not technically finished, but I've read up to what has been released so far. So, the first one is the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yaros. So, the Fourth Wing series, that world, I am officially caught up until whenever the next book releases. I don't know when that is. I'm also caught up on the Big Shots series by Tessa Bailey. These are her sports romances. They're like standalones, but in an interconnected world. So, like, all of them are friends with one another. I am caught up on that until September, I think, is when the next book comes out. Um, Another series that I am caught up on, but only for a few more days, is Rebel Blue Ranch because the next book comes out on April 15th. So excited to get to that one. That one is one that I will try to read right away, just to stay caught up. I've really been enjoying all the books. So excited for that one. The Dungeons and Drama series by Christy Boyce. These are little YA romances with very heavy Dungeons and Dragons themes in them. I'm caught up on those for now. I've read the 2, but she did announce that there will be another book coming out in the series. If you can even call it a series, they're all standalones, but all revolve around Dungeons and Dragons. But I think she said 2026 for that one, so I'm caught up there for a while. Another series that I started, but only one book is out so far, so I'm caught up until I think it's mid-August, is Hench. I really enjoyed the first book, and I cannot wait to pick up book 2 when that comes out. Um, Same thing for actually the next couple of series, the Royal Artifactual Guild. Caught up on that until September. That is the one by Ruby Dixon. And then another one that, like, I'm not really sure if it's a series, is Cosmic Chaos. I assume so because she gave it like a series title, but only the first book is out so far, and that one just released by Kimberly Lemming. It's I got abducted by aliens and now I'm trapped in a rom-com. There's only one book listed right now on like Goodreads and Amazon and that kind of stuff, but it does say Cosmic Chaos series, so I assume eventually more books will be coming. So for that, I'm either finished or caught up, I guess, depending on if she continues this series or not. There were a couple series that I made some progress in. First one is Hot and Hammered series by Tessa Bailey. I've read now the first and second book. I think there's only one book left. Can't remember if there's 3 or 4, but either way, we're getting there. We're making progress. I also made progress on the Make Games Death series. I read book 2. There are 4, so I still got to get to the other ones, but they are such a fun time. Um, but I'm coming to the end, and I'm like trying to drag it out because part of me wants to binge the entire series, but also like I'm gonna want more. So I don't know. I'm trying to drag that series out as long as possible at this point. We also have Hyperion Cantos. I read book 2, so I still have to finish books 3 and 4. And then Ice Planet Barbarians. I didn't read any of the full novels, but I caught up on the novellas, and now I'm ready to jump in to the next novel. So I did make some progress there. And then for as many series as I got caught up on, I also started that many more series. So that's a problem. The first one is The Simple Wild. I read book 1. I just picked up book 2 back at the end of February while I was on vacation. So excited to continue there. We have Rights of Possession, which is like a why choose fantasy romance. I'm still undecided if I'm going to continue or not. I've heard good things about the series, but book 1 didn't really grip me. And it's wide shoes, and I didn't really get that out of book 1, so I don't know. Maybe I'll continue and I'll like it more. But that one's still kind of on the fence for me. Another series that I started were the solo leveling light novels. I read the first one. There are 8 of them. And I really enjoyed it. I actually listened to the audiobook and I think it was really well done, really well voice acted. They did a really good job with sound effects and stuff. So excited to continue the rest of those. I also started the Stars and Shadows series by Holly Renee. I will probably continue that soon, but I'm finishing up the last book in the Veiled Kingdom series currently. So I want to finish that before I continue any more of Stars and Shadows. I also started The Curse of Saints. I believe it's a trilogy. I read book 1 and liked it more than I thought I would. I actually met the author while I was at Romanticycon, so that was pretty cool, and I am excited to continue that series as well. I also started The Whispering Sea Duet. I read the first book, so I just have to read the second one. That's another one that I'm kind of on the fence about. Like, I liked book 1, but I wasn't like over the moon about it. So undetermined. I feel like I should just finish it though, because like I'm interested enough to see what happens. And they're fairly short, so we might get to that at some point. And last but certainly not least, probably my favorite new book series that I started is Immortals After Dark. I read the prequel novella and book 1. This is another book that I picked up as a blind date with a book while I was at Romanticycon back in February. Um, so it was a total surprise to me when I opened the book, but I was really pleasantly surprised by it. I had a lot of fun with it, and I know they're coming out with like all new covers for the series because it is an older series and they covers were not exactly pretty, but the new ones are gorgeous. So we'll definitely be picking those up as they continue releasing. And that is it. Those are all of the series that I have made some sort of a headway in, whether I finished it, caught up in it, made progress, or simply just started another one. And this was probably through, I think, the end of January through the end of March that I've made progress in all of these. So it's been a couple months since I've done one of these videos. I need to get better at keeping myself accountable for, keeping track of the series. I've made myself a series tracker. Um, and maybe a more fun way to do these videos instead of just babbling to you about what I've read. Maybe start like a spinner wheel or something that could be fun. We'll see. We'll see where we go with this. But yeah, let me know down in the comments below. Are you a series binger, or do you just do like I do and read one book and then move on and forget about it until you actually sit down and think about how many series you're in the middle of and then feel embarrassed? um, yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, give the video a thumbs up on your way out, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.